Was that good?
No, I know.
Okay. Did you finish your juice?
Yeah, I did.
Was it good?
Yeah, I did.
For reference, he does not drink this jar full of juice. This was actually my juice, which he finished. He'd be floating away if he drank that. Come on, you want to go plant the garden? Yeah, Daddy actually got that for me. Isn't that sweet?
This.
You know what that's for?
And this and this.
Hey.
What?
Do you know what that's for?
What?
Yes. What does that look like the perfect size to hold? Look, seeds, that's right. So I gotta sort my seeds into that. Maybe that can be what we do on our next rainy day. What do you think? Jeremiah got this at Hobby Lobby. He actually schemed with Ben Turn to get it while we were out of town, so I came home to it. Isn't that super cute? You gonna put on the garden hat? Cool.
We need to write the names.
You're right, we are gonna need to write the names, and we also need to grab these little tags here. It's gonna hold the marker?
Yeah. You tell me the letters. I'll also like.
Yeah, I'll tell you what letters to write. All right, I got my coffee. Got my garden buddy with seeds. There's 98% humidity outside right now at 6:30 in the evening. I've got dinner in the oven, so I've got 30 minutes in the garden.
Plant this one. You haven't put any.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to do these first. Oh my goodness, there are some critters chomping on my kale. Look at this. It has not been out here for very long, and they've already found it. I don't like that. So obviously I've got some wormy issues on these kales that have been sitting out here.
Where are the worms?
I just picked one of them off. Look there. This one's covered. Problem is they're just gonna keep coming back. Let's go ahead and pick them. So BT is an option to spray. That's an organic option. I would really like to have the covers. We're gonna do floating row covers over these, and I think that would probably be the most effective way. However, we are putting our roof on tomorrow, so we are not going to have the time to put together floating row covers. Looks like Benjamin's gonna hand pick in the meantime. Well, phooey. I think what I'm gonna do, I just moved these out here to start hardening them off, and they don't have any damage yet. What I can see, they don't have any worms. Now that doesn't mean there's no eggs laid on them. I think I'm gonna go ahead and move those back in the house. I'm not good at changing plans on the fly. When I have a plan and a way that I'm gonna do things, I'm gonna do it that way, and then whenever I have to change it, I'm just like, BT. I think I'm just gonna go that route and spray these. We'll pick off what we can. We'll spray them, and we'll get the row covers up as soon as we can. The ones that don't have worms on them yet, I'm gonna go ahead and move them back in the house. They're not so big that it's gonna be an issue. They still have time to move. And then today, I think we're gonna direct sow seeds. We were gonna put those starts in the ground.
Mom.
All of them, but I'm not gonna put all of them in the ground.
I said something that was good. Before the worms went over to those, I just cast it.
You did such a good job. You're a great gardener. Okay, so let's get to work because I don't have a lot of time. You can plant.
Perfect.
Those are really beautiful. I don't know how they got in there though, because those are not going to be for the fall, and we don't have enough time to grow those, so we're not going to do beans. However, yeah, there's some other stuff mixed in here. However, we do have like these bull's blood beets. We could grow these. You want to grow some beets? You know what you can do with beets? Make juice, like you were drinking earlier.
Yeah.
Look, do you want to write down the word beet on that?
Tell me the letters. Let's go find a garden bed.
Here. Put it here. And look here. Let's read it. Look. What is that letter? What letter is that? Do you know that letter?
Yeah, it's in my name.
It's in your name?
B.
B.
And then
that's an E.
E. So
kind of like Ben.
Well, I just want to make this.
You
have to make
yeah, you can make it uppercase if you want to. T.
T.
Beet. There you go. You wrote beet. Do you want to write bull's blood?
No.
You just want to write beet? That's okay. Do you want me to write bull's blood? Or you just want it to say beet?
I just want to say beet.
Okay, because I can take a note on my phone and know where we put. Okay, let's go put these. This is my kale bed, so we're not going to put them in here. But bring the beet seeds. Just put the beet in right there. But you can, you could use this for a poker. You want to use this for a poker? Yeah. You just use the gray in. Okay, now look. Let me teach you. Hold on. That was way too deep. I need to teach you, okay? Very good, thank you. Are you ready to listen? Are you ready to listen? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's take this straw and let's remove it for right now. And you need to keep your eyes out to make sure you don't get in any ants, okay? Okay, and poke your holes. Now just like that, okay? Not very deep. About that far apart. Do you see how close they are? See, they're not very large seeds, so you don't want to put them too deep. Okay? And look, I want you to plant a lot of them. All right here, all right? Do your best. I love you. You're a great gardener.
Let's save this for the kale. Hey, Mama.
We can make beets with cream fresh.
Cream fresh.
Cream fresh. We can make baked beets, roasted beets.
Roasted.
We can make pickled beets.
Pickled. I'll make all. I'll make all the beets.
We can ferment some beets with some sauerkraut.
Okay, I'll just make pickles. Beets.
Pickled beets. Pickled beets are good. Oh. Beets. All right. Very good. A, like Asher.
And
L. Very good. And then E.
E.
You know that one. Okay. This child is going to learn to read and write on seed packets, and that is okay with me.
Kale.
Very good. How about let's take it down to the end. This whole bed is going to be kale, and we're not going to label all of it, but we can put your little label there. So we've got all of these. This is the irrigation stuff, and it's not all hooked up yet, but we've got it laid out in the bed so I can plant. So I'm kind of just working around it and knowing that it's going to be put down. And if we end up having to move some plants, we can. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle.
I got my hand. Is that all?
I get asked a lot about the mulch in our beds. And as you can see, we have straw mulch in our beds. I have mulch with both straw and hay. There are some things you need to be aware of doing that. One, you need to make sure that you source it in a place that's not been sprayed with anything, because there are pesticides that can be sprayed on grass crops that kill things that aren't grass, and obviously if you put that on your garden, you're going to have an issue. And I have heard of people losing their gardens because of that. I've never experienced it personally, but we typically buy hay from the same people around here, and they're not spraying anything on it. And so straw is like the byproduct. You actually separate out the hay, or whatever, the grass, from the straw. The straw is like the empty sheath that grows up around a grass crop, essentially. And so there's not as many seeds in straw. It doesn't break down as easy, and it doesn't add as much back to the soil when it does break down, because it just doesn't have the energy in it that hay has in it. The downside of hay, although it does help build your soil over time, is that it is often full of seeds. And so if you put hay on your beds or in your garden, a lot of times it's going to grow a lot of weeds. It's typically not an issue whenever I have had hay that sprouted in the garden. It's not deeply rooted, it's just right there on top, so they're super easy to pull out. It's not that big of a deal. There are like pros and cons to both, obviously. Cost can be different. Sometimes you can get straw cheaper, sometimes you can get hay cheaper. It really depends on your source. We have had an easier time finding cheap hay because you can buy a round bale, which is like over 1,000 pounds of hay for significantly less than you can buy straw by the square bill, but that's really going to be regional. And like I said, there's the major con of making sure that you're sourcing it well. There's the seed issue, but they both work really well for warming soil and for keeping back weed production. Like if you don't put something down, well done, mister. If you don't put something down over, you know, your naked soil, you're gonna end up pulling a lot more weed. So if you're direct sowing, like I usually like to clear the mulch aside and sow the seeds, and then once they're up, bring the mulch back over so they don't have to struggle through that. But if you're planting transplants like this, you just put them in and then mulch around them, and it's no problem. You can do it right away. Mulch is a game changer though for gardening. Since starting to mulch with both hay and straw, it just makes for a lot less work. It holds your moisture in, it helps keep your soil a little you know, cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter, and really cuts back on how much time you have to spend weeding. So I definitely do recommend mulching with something. Today, whenever we were down here deciding what all to take out, I saw this one eggplant that persevered through the flea beetle season, and it looks like it's gonna do well. So these two beds are entirely kale, a ton of kale for juicing and stuff, except that eggplant. I just couldn't bear to pull out such a beautiful, healthy plant that had a baby eggplant. All right, since these guys are already bug riddled, what we're gonna do is as we plant them, we're just going to double check, make sure that we've already pulled the little wormies off. These little biodegradable bags, you can see they've already got roots growing through them. Now, when I've been planting with them this fall, I've actually, if they were loose, I've just pulled them out like this. If they were starting to really grow through, I've just torn the bottom open. I don't know that that's necessary, but I figure it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and make sure that those roots are not gonna have any chance of being bound. So we're just gonna go ahead and plant these kale plants. With stuff like this, kales and lettuces, these kales will get a lot bigger if we give them ample space. So I'm going to put these about like 8 to 10 inches apart. I could go a little bit further apart than that, but I could go closer together and they would just be smaller. Look, I've already got some of these. Do you wanna write some? You're wanting to do name tags? Some of them don't have name tags, but it's all the same few varieties.
That's why I got them.
You gonna write more kale name tags? Y'all, having teenagers is like the best thing ever, because I know whenever the dinner needs to get pulled out of the oven and I need to go inside, I can call them and tell them to pull the dinner out of the oven and I can keep gardening. It's wonderful. I've got 10 more minutes and it's almost dark. So I was telling you about bugs. When I was a kid, my little sister is 7 years younger than me, and I would seriously be like, when I was almost a teenager, I would call her in to handle bugs because she didn't care, and I hated bugs. And it's so funny now that I'm a gardener and like pick bugs off regularly. It's just, if you knew like what a diva I was about bugs. And I'm not talking like just in childhood, I mean like my entire life until I had to get over it in the gardening. And still, if I see a bug in the house, I fold. I'm like, somebody else, I had 5 sons, somebody come get this bug for me. So I'm gonna plant one more thing before I go in. And I would not be surprised if Benjamin does not come out here soon, because I told him I'd be right behind him and he will be on to me. I goofed big time. This, even though I have a lot of seeds, this is still like a really bummer mistake to make. I left a little box of seeds that I was planting out here in the pavilion. The pavilion does not have the new roof on yet. It's gonna be on this weekend. And so water can get down through the middle, so that table underneath it does get wet when it rains. Not like sopping wet, but it does get wet. And my seeds got wet. It was while I was in California. And so if you ever leave seeds in the garden and they somehow get wet, if you catch them soon enough, you can lay them out on a paper towel and they'll dry, you know, repackage them in a bag and they'll be fine. But these set damp for a while. And so some of them, I've got some peas that are like on the brink of sprouting, which is not a big deal. I was gonna plant them, and so I just still need to plant them. But unfortunately, some of my carrot seeds, they got a little like moldy, and I just don't know that they're gonna do anything. I'm gonna try to plant a good deal of them. And right now, I'm gonna plant down this row of this bed, these Desiree dwarf bloshockers, garden pea. I'm probably saying that wrong. Anyway, they're bush peas, so they don't require any trellising, kind of like a purple snap. So we're gonna go all the way down here with these. And the reason why I wanna go ahead and do this now, and why I'm out here planting even though it's almost dark, one, because they have already gotten wet, but because we're about to get some rain. And peas, they do better with a good bit of moisture to germinate. And gloriously, with the storm that's coming in today, cooler temperatures are coming. And so we have still been in the throes of like Arkansas summer, but it looks like we're finally switching over to some fall weather. Our version of fall weather, not your northern versions of fall weather. Our fall probably still feels like a lot of y'all's summer, which means that I don't get to wear my cute boots and jackets just yet, but I still get to grow squash in my garden, so I guess we a trade-off for all things, right? So we ran out of light. I was gonna try to show you guys what was going on in the pig yard, but there was no way we could see back there. The camera wouldn't focus, so we came back in and we're gonna open our package. Now, this came from Japan, from a family that is stationed over there, and actually Melanie, they recently started a YouTube channel, and they are looking to purchase a homestead in the US whenever they come back here, but she wanted to share some encouragement and send a thank you to us for sharing our lives. So can you all say thank you?
Thank you.
Let me make sure I got it right. A Slice of Heaven Homestead. And she actually made a video of them shopping for this, which I watched that video when I read her letter. So I kind of have an idea what's in this box, but they don't have any idea. Now the cool thing about this, I mean obviously it's a cool thing, is that Sweet Maya was stationed in Japan. So I'm kind of curious if there's anything in here that's going to be familiar to him, because I know that there are a few treats that he has occasionally gone back to for nostalgia's sake. So yeah, let's go ahead and take this. Okay, back up. We need to be able to see. Then I'll let you watch their video, okay guys?
All right. Got it.
All right, can y'all say thank you?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Recipes for soup.
That was for me, I think. They're like crickets.
And fried cabbage with spicy sausage. I'm so excited.
I want to be. I don't like spicy sauce.
All right. Oh, wow. Look at this. These are real chopsticks, and none of us except Mom know how to use them. So
Actually, I don't know how to.
the attachments, we'll get those.
Learn.
I was in Okinawa and still never learned. Oh, look, baby chopsticks. Those are actually for me. Okay, I actually do remember this. This is kind of like gelatinous pudding stuff.
He's no clue what that is.
I learned a lot really quick while I was over there that Japanese people and Southern American people have very different tastes and texture requirements for their food. So I really just ate a lot of macaroni and shells. And,
I think you would be more adventurous now. You ate a lot of sushi.
I did eat a lot of sushi.
Y'all want to try this? Y'all want to do a food adventure?
Okay, so this is Kit Kat bars
Chestnut.
with chestnuts, which is that actually sounds really good. And I'm on a diet, but I will definitely try this. Pass it around.
What's the point of that?
Mini Lego sets.
Mini Lego sets.
Toby, here, take a look. Pass it to your brother. Okay.
Oh, you know what that's for?
Ooh, this is to make Uncrustables in the shape of pandas. Toby, your favorite bear.
What? I'm gonna be.
All right.
Wow.
Crunky.
Something crunky. Crunch chocolate with corn in it.
We've got some crunky crunch chocolate. You want to try it?
Yes.
I get this really
We haven't
the
tried
fact
this.
that they have different like.
Jeremiah's like big confused. He's like, I'm on a diet. I can't eat any of these.
All right, let's try
Look
the
a
crunky
la mode.
corn in it. Oh wow, look at this.
I'm gonna regret eating that.
Smells like corn.
Don't eat it.
No, that's really tasty.
You like it?
I just haven't eaten any sugar.
sugar in weeks.
No, but it tastes like
I
corn,
don't
like
want to
sweet
try
corn.
this, but I'm going to.
Oh my gosh, it really smells like sweet
It
corn.
tastes like sweet corn. Put it in your mouth. It's pretty good.
Try it. It's corn. You like
Tastes like
corn.
milk.
I don't know. It tastes too good.
Tastes like milk.
See, Ezra likes it.
All right, cool. We'll eat the rest of that later.
I don't like corn.
That's
tastes so
wild.
weird.
It
tastes
tastes like
weird.
sweet corn.
Yeah, it
not
tastes
bad.
like milk.
Wow. More Kit Kats. This one has lemon in it. Oh, that'd be
No.
fun.
I like that.
Isn't that interesting? They have lots of flavors of Kit Kats if you've never seen.
Yeah, I know. There are like
Sesame oil.
there's like so many things.
They have a lot of things.
Oh, she actually, this was in her video where she was actually sealing these. These are solar lights for the garden, so that's really pretty.
Oh.
Ooh, stickers, guys.
Stickers.
Pass them around.
She's so right. She's
You're not thinking this is something you make.
Oh, is it like banana pudding? No, they're candies.
Oh, they're candies. Okay.
Or something. So this is like a little packet of like a banana gel types.
Oh, look. It looks like hair gel.
Oh! What if it is hair gel?
What if this is hair gel made out of bananas?
Are you gonna taste it first? It's squishy.
Oh man, texturally is so bad. It's like eating an alien.
Does it taste good?
It tastes like flubber.
I don't know what that is, honey.
Okay, try this. Just take a little bite off. Bite it.
Oh,
Chew it.
no.
That is good.
Here, I think.
I'm guessing this may or may not make it in the video.
It's gonna make it in the video, especially with this.
It's just like gummy.
Open your mouth.
A sweet potato Kit Kat.
I know every time.
This
I know this
doesn't look
gets
like-
weirder and weirder.
I want to go to Walmart. and
Okay.
see
No.
how-
Y'all ready?
Sweet potato Kit Kat. Here we
Ooh,
go.
it's weird, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, it really tastes like a sweet potato. It tastes like candied yams, like at Thanksgiving.
Why are they making vegetable
Tastes like a
candy?
cake.
Vegetable.
Can we try some of this? I want my friend to try it.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, that's beautiful.
I want to open
All right, guys. We're going to pack some of this up to enjoy at a later date, but can you all say thank you very much?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing Japan with us.
Thank you for sharing Japan with us.
I hope I could go there soon, honestly.
Yep, Asher was just saying the other day about now that he's been to California, Japan's the next on his bucket list. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We bless you. Until next time.